Hey, what's going on, guys? Welcome to day 59 of journaling my journey to becoming profitable and the best version of myself. The week is finally starting to turn around, and what a shocker! As soon as we start trading the New York session, things are starting to turn around for the better, and we're in a better mood. And I realized the biggest thing in trading is just having that mindset switch. And honestly, it's probably easy to say that when you're winning, when you're hitting TP, it's easy to say, oh, yeah, I just switched my mindset and now I'm all happy and I'm doing good. It's important to have that mindset switch even when you're doing horrible and you're down and you think everything is gone and everything has come to an end. But it's important to just have that mindset switch and realize that you're in a better position than you think and you just got to make work of what you got. So we ended up trading the New York session today. We ended up hitting TP, and I have a new way of looking at things. Not in terms of trading, of just terms of mentally. And I feel like that plays a huge role in your trading, and I just want to go over what we ended up doing today. So, anyways, yesterday I also ended up buying a new eval, and I wanted to buy a new eval off of a new firm, and I chose Lucid. Lucid Trading. They have nice 50K accounts for a good price, and as you guys can see today, I ended up taking a trade during the New York session, and I made $803 on the eval. I'm not rushed. I'm not like I was just trying to get used to the platform and the risk and all that because they're using lots now, and I ended up doing one lot, and I realized that it wasn't enough, so I just ended up doing two lots. But that was around the time I was about to hit TP, so I'm trying to understand the risk, but I'm not in as big of a rush. Like I just want to stay consistent. I just want to build that consistency. That's what's the most important to me, and that's what helps my psychology so much and my mental when I'm just staying consistent and I'm just doing the same thing over and over again. I'm risking the same amount, taking the same trades, and I'm just sticking to a strict program. So, and that's what New York session gives for me, and it gives me the opportunity to do. And I realized from 9:30 to 9:45, I had 15 minutes in class, where I could just trade in peace. And that's the prime time for my setup and the way I trade New York session. So I think I can possibly make this work. So I'm just gonna try my best. And even if I don't get the opportunity to trade, I'd rather do that. I'd rather miss out on opportunities to trade and not take the setups I want than trade a session, as you guys know from watching the past few videos. But anyways, let's just go over what we ended up taking today. So, as you guys probably know, we are like we are basically at all-time highs, and we are super 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 bullish. And it might be dangerous to be taking shorts at these conditions, but hey, I'm just sticking to my system and what I saw. And taking a small retracement down is not the worst idea because that's how the market moves. And this New York session at the beginning, we did have some nice shorts, but then obviously we're gonna rally up and then take some nice longs. But let's just go over one I ended up taking today and the setup that I ended up seeing present itself. And it's literally the same setup that I see every single time I trade New York session. So I was going into the day open to anything, honestly. But I was interested in this. I was just interested in us, honestly, just seeing what we were going to take out. So we had this bearish fair value gap that was unfilled, and I was interested for us to well, no, it was filled, but I was interested in seeing price come up into here and then deliver. So there was a nice sweep inside of that 15-minute gap that we could have came up and taken out. Um, at 9:25, price already came up and swept out these highs, but at 9:30, we ended up coming up and resweeping these highs inside of a bearish 15-minute gap. So that is perfect. That is what we love to see. We love to see imbalances of a higher time frame and then seeing price come up and manipulate highs inside of that fair value gap. So we had a 15-minute bearish gap that was giving us conviction to go lower. So price came up, went inside this 15-minute gap, swept out liquidity on, and then we had a really really clean sweep. Like, this is just beautiful sweep, and we had a really really strong rally. We ended up coming down, inversing this fair value gap as we love to see, and we're just gonna go for a 1-on-1 risk reward, targeting these lows. And thankfully, I ended up hitting TP relatively quickly, and I'm glad I didn't go break even because we just ended up chopping like crazy. But I'm glad I hit TP relatively quick. I hit TP in around like 5 minutes. And, we did go a lot lower. And I'm pretty sure we went lower inside of these unfilled 1-hour gaps. But I really just did not have the time to be in that trade for that long because my period would have been over. So I'm just happy with what I ended up taking. Take your piece of the pie and be happy with what you ended up getting. Don't be greedy. Don't let the numbers get to you. And I've been preached, and people have been, from the people that I watch and the people I learn from, they preach to, when you're trading, trade to understand where price wants to go and take your trades based off of price action and not the money that you're trying to make. Price can move really, really aggressively, and you might have the urge to just enter because, you're almost guaranteed to make money because of how aggressive price is moving. But it's important to just stick to your rules and only take a trade when a setup presents itself. So I know after my period was over, I did have some extra free time in my second period, and I saw price which was moving so hard down, and I just knew that we were probably just going to keep on dumping. But I did restrict myself, and I told myself, no, I already took my setup that presents itself it presents itself once at market open, and I already took my trade, and I'm up on the day. I do not want to put on more risk just because I feel like taking a trade. That's against my rules, and I'm happy that I stuck to what my game plan was. And that's why it's so easy to do with New York session. With Aether session, I don't relatively have an exact strategy that I'm looking for and a technical analysis that I'm trying to follow and a reason to precisely enter my trades. So I feel like I'm more open to just take trades based off of where I think prices wants to go. But here, I have such a strict and planned out and very in-depth understood plan that I'm looking for. I have a technical analysis that I'm looking for, and there's a point exactly on the 1-minute chart or on the lower time frames up to the 5-minute. I have an exact point, exact second of where I want to enter my trade, and it's just that precise. And I love that part about the New York session and my setup and my strategy. I have an exact thing I'm looking for, and I execute on the second. Like, the second the candle closes, I enter, and I hit TP relatively quickly, and it's perfect for the scenario that I'm in. And it gives me reason to enter my trades and conviction, and even if I get stopped out, I will be cool with that because I know that I followed my plan. And if you have a winning strategy in the long run, you will be successful and you will be profitable because you will be winning more trades than you lose. And especially with a one-to-one risk reward, it's just the statistic and literally the facts just align in your favor, and you're just gonna make money. If you have a winning system and you go for one-on-one risk reward, you're gonna make money. So that's just what I'm trying to keep in the back of my mind. Even if I lose, if I ended up taking my setup and I followed my rules, it's still a good day because I would have wanted to take that trade 10 out of 10 times. Every time that trade would have presented itself, I would want to take that trade. That's the thought I have in my mind. If I saw the setup yesterday or tomorrow or the day after that, or just if I see this exact setup in a month from now, would I still take it? And the answer should be yes every single time. So I love the setup that I ended up taking today. I'm happy with it. I definitely would have taken it again in every other day. I'm taking this, even though the conditions right now are a little bit scary with us being at all-time highs. But this isn't the first time that I'm trading all-time highs. I do still have some experience with these markets, and I think I will still be successful. But, you know, today is Thursday. Literally, the beginning of this week, I was so upset and so down. Tuesday was even worse, and I felt even more horrible. Wednesday was probably one of my toughest days in a long, long time. But it was one of the most valuable days. And I'm so glad that I had that day because I learned a very valuable lesson that will save me a lot of money and a lot of stress and a lot of emotions in the long run. And I'm so glad that I finally understood to just give up on Asia session. Even though you don't have the opportunity to trade New York session as much as you'd like, that's just the cards you have been dealt, and you just have to make something work out of it. You're the person that's actually in control, and you're the person that's placing the trades. You're the person that's getting on the charts. So there's no excuses. So I'm glad I made that call, and I finally understood what my problem was. And A session was really the root of all my problems and what's really holding me back. So I'm just glad that I'm sticking to New York session, just like all the professionals that I've learned from. And I think this will truly help me a lot. And I don't know. I feel like there's another problem with me. When I hit TP, I I just start thinking of like the future and everything working out perfectly, and I'm just living the life that I want, and I hit TP, and me hitting TP just gives me confidence in myself and that I'm just doing everything right, and I know exactly what I'm doing and it's working out. But anytime I hit stop loss, I just put myself in a really really dark place. And I start to doubt myself if I even know what I'm doing anymore. But I realized that I've only felt that way because I was out of control and I didn't have any control or conviction. Well, I did have some conviction, but nowhere near as much as I do in a New York session during Asia session, and that's what caused all those emotions, all of those like, all of those like, just that fear. I guess that fear. And you just have to understand what's causing you these problems and what's the root cause and what can you do to fix it. And I had that battle with myself, and I'm glad that I feel like I won it. And that's really what training is. You're just going to go at war with yourself. But hey, you got to love this. You got to love the process. You got to love the struggle. You got to love the emotions. You got to love everything about what you do, because that's the only way you'll truly be happy. And me going through this at a young age will definitely help build and shape the person that I'm going to be when I'm older. And it's important that I'm going through this now. And I'm just excited for what the future holds, and I'm being so motivational, and I'm being so positive right now. And I feel like it's it's probably only because I hit TP. If I hit stop loss today, been I probably would have been having a completely different talk right now, and I'd be talking about how, man, like everything is over, everything is over, like, and just have like, I don't know, that fear. And I really am a maximalist. Like, I just want everything to be perfect. I want everything to be working out. I want consistency. I want progress, and I just want growth. And with trading, you're gonna have so many just downs and downs and downs and plateaus, and feel like when you're not going anywhere and you're just being stagnant and you're not seeing any progress, and that will put you in a deep and dark place. And but as soon as you start seeing some momentum and things start going the way you want, your whole mindset will shift. And I feel like that's also not the best thing. You should be in control and have the ability to have that mindset shift even when you're at those all-time lows in your life and your career. But, it is what it is. That might come with experience, and even though I feel like I do have a decent amount of experience, almost like a year and a half, but still there's still a lot more challenges and humps that I'm gonna have to overcome, and that's just a part of the process and the journey to becoming profitable. And I'm glad I'm journaling it because you know it's important to be able to look back. But with this new eval and this new firm, I feel like it's a fresh start. And with me starting to trade New York session, this week is about to come to an end. We'll see how tomorrow goes, but I am looking forward to next week, and I feel like this is a fresh, new, clean start. And looking back at the higher time frame in life, April has been a success. March has been a success. Um, May was all right. January, February, March, April. Oh no, not May. I mean January, February. February was all right. Actually, no. Just all the months in general, they've been good. If you look at the bigger picture, there's just been some tough days in those months inside of them. But overall, we're doing pretty damn good. So it's just important to stay positive. That's the most important. And, things will just fall into place. But anyways, that's how today ended up going. I hope you guys might have gained something from this video. Hopefully, if you guys are going through some tough stuff, just know that it's just all about the way you look at. It's just about the way you look at these things, and know that you can get yourself out of any situation. You just have to grab yourself, and just take control. But anyways, that's how today ended up going. I hope you guys are doing amazing, and we'll just keep moving forward and hopefully just keep progressing.